our firefighters realized that we have a large population within our community that didn't have the ability to jump in a car and drive down, didn't have the ability to get on a phone and make a appointment. Some folks didn't even have web access to get online to see where the vaccination centers were. So our city and our firefighters really start to think, okay, what about these people that don't have, quote unquote, the luxury to go down and get the vaccine? What are we doing for them? And it was through contacts that we had made from running on medical aids in certain communities, social media. People were contacting us going, hey, I have a family member that lives with us. They're in the tier, but they're bedridden. Is there any chance you can come to them to provide the vaccine? And with our fire department in the city, we realized what a beautiful opportunity for us to provide that service to them. So it was really what firefighters are all about, is helping people. And we decided to go to them, and hence Operation Immunity really kicked off.
The city of Chula Vista and surrounding South Bay cities are predominantly Hispanic. And so as you know, what the pandemic has showed is a lot of disparities within the healthcare system and people being able to access good healthcare. And so COVID has just brought that to light. And so we knew that we had to do something extraordinary in order to make sure that our community that was heavily impacted by COVID-19 got the best testing facilities and the best immunization programs that we could possibly offer.
One of the first days we went to a local trailer park here, where as we were driving into the complex, we saw elderly folks sitting outside their driveways with chairs and the little, waiver for them to get the vaccine. And it was just, it was a very touching moment for us, because, most of the time when the fire department show up, we're there to provide emergency services to people. But this time we were ahead of any issues. We were being proactive in getting the vaccine out. And for many people, it was almost like a party atmosphere for them, realizing that we were going to them. And to see literally dozens of elderly people outside on their driveway waving to us as we were coming by, we were almost in a sense of urgency, going like, we better get to these people before it started to get dark. And in one of the homes, they were sisters, both in their late 80s, and they were just overwhelmed with emotion. They were Spanish speaking, so we had a language barrier. They didn't have a computer in their house. They were barely able to operate their phones. And they were telling me in Spanish that if we didn't go to them, they wouldn't know where they would get the vaccine. And that's very emotional for a firefighter to hear that. And for many of our firefighters, one in particular, 32-year veteran of the fire service, and he says this last week was the most gratifying time as a firefighter he's ever spent in the last 32 years. So that really says something about the program and how lucky we are to provide that service.
We don't have to worry about go somewhere and, looking for transportation. A lot of people can drive over here, the people who live here.
So if we can show up to our friends and to our neighbors and provide information that's accurate, information that's timely, in a way that we can relate, and to sit across the table and to really break down what the vaccination is doing in simple terms. We want to limit the spread. We want to continue with social distancing. We want to continue for you to wear your mask, wash your hands. But at the same time, the most important thing that we can do, we know for certainty, is get that vaccine.
Our firefighters and are considered heroes in our community, as they are in many communities. And so, that they would go out to a home where the person was incapacitated, immobile, or, just could not have access to transportation to get to vaccine sites. We know from many testimonies from them that they're incredibly grateful to what the city of Chula Vista and our firefighters are doing for them.